Hello, 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 and welcome to Workouts for Older Men Live. I am 𝗕𝗎𝗄𝗃. So glad you're joining me here today. I call this our continual connection. I come to you, make myself available to answer your fitness questions, whether it's workouts, nutrition, motivation, mindset, right? Assessing your progress, your frustrations. Are your efforts, is your hard work meeting your expectations? A lot of times you may be doing everything right. You just don't know what to expect. It seems as though you should be yielding more results, more muscle, less body fat in a shorter period of time, that you should be yielding those results now and not later. And you may think that you're doing something wrong. You might change your routine, look for other routines, change your diet, quit on your diet, and you may be doing everything right because you don't know what to expect. I deal with men like you all the time. You're smart, you're hardworking, you're committed, you live at a high standard in all areas of your life, your family, your business, your marriage, your relationships, spiritually. All right, you have high standards, right? And so you may be somewhat new to fitness, bearing down, focusing on this stage of your life, even though when you're in your 50s, you didn't make the time. Maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't, who cares, right? You didn't earlier in your life become a gym guy, going to the gym 3, 4, 5 days a week like you're doing now, watching your diet, watching workout videos. That wasn't a part of your life, right? You took care of your family and your business. Now, for whatever reasons, it doesn't matter the reason why, you're sick and disgusted with the way your body looks. A lot of men look better than most men their age, but that's not good enough. You live at a higher standard. You don't compare yourself to other men. Right? A lot of men who come to me for advice, who watch Workouts for Older Men Live and visit my 𝗕𝗎𝗄𝗃.com website, they don't even realize they look better than 80% of the men our age. They don't care, and they shouldn't care. You shouldn't care and just be happy with looking better than 80% of the men our age. You know why? Because they don't work out. They don't even put any effort in at all. So that's no big feat. If you're just somewhat, you just move more, eat less. All right. You'll watch your diet. You don't even need to know about nutrition. You just watch your portion control and you walk. You do that for 3, 6 months. That's all it takes to look better than 80% of the men our age. Right. So it is no big feat. You should want more. Right. Those are the type of men. If that sounds like you, then you're in the right place. But I know you're getting so much information out there. What's best for you? Do you need a special training routine or a special diet because you are older? Is that the reason why you can't lose that 20, 30 pounds of body fat? Is it that you haven't found the right workout routine and you've tried, you're used to figuring things out. You can't figure this out. All right. I want to help you figure that out. That's why I come to you, if just to keep you focused on who you are, what you're all about, and where you're going with this continual connection, or answer your questions directly. So I'm so glad you're here. Say hello, hello, hello. That's our Workouts for Older Men Live greeting. Let me know if you're watching me live on Facebook or on my YouTube channel, 𝗕𝗎𝗄𝗃 page at Facebook, at 𝗕𝗎𝗄𝗃 on YouTube, or you're watching the replay on Instagram, 𝗕𝗎𝗄𝗃, on TikTok, 𝗕𝗎𝗄𝗃. Let me know and post your comments down below. Again, say hello. If you have any questions, I'll answer those directly. Maybe now, maybe in the comment section. It doesn't matter when you watch it live or in the replay version, right? I'm here to help you any way you can, any way I can, any way you can. I'm ready to give you, this energy, right? Sometimes I come on here and you guys all go for it, man. The energy is incredible. The questions are amazing. And, I just love it because, as I'm trying to be on all my social media platforms, I take the time to do all this. I can cut. What a great question J. Martin Skinner asked. I can cut that out, get some content, help out men just like you. Sometimes, right, I come here and even when people are watching, they're not even saying hello, hello, hello. So it's always a grab bag. So I appreciate all the energy. I just appreciate you being here. Thanks so much for the loves, the likes, the shares, and the comments. I'm going to stay consistent and I will build this audience. But all I care about is you. So if you know what you want, ask it, get what you want from me. That's why I'm here. So I want to say hello. Wyatt, hello. Wyatt over on my YouTube channel at 𝗕𝗂𝗂𝗏. Kyle, hello. Kyle is on Facebook. Veronica, hola. Veronica or Veronica's husband. I'm not quite sure. Let me know if I'm talking to Veronica or it's Veronica's account. A lot of men who I help, they're not social media guys. They don't have all the accounts, right? They have a burner account. They want to stay as low profile as possible. So if that's you, I hear you. There's a lot of men like you, and they're not posting in the comment section, but thank you for being here. Mike, hello. Mike over on Facebook. J. Martin Skinner, hello, Skip. I am on Facebook. I appreciate you. I appreciate you appreciating me. I appreciate that too. Wyatt says, I'm committed to this month to raising my standards. I'm not an older guy, but I couldn't stand seeing fitness people on YouTube giving generic platitudes. What does that mean? I want to help you decipher all the information, because I can tell you a lot of times, see, I look at the information. I know why the fitness information is presented a certain way, whether the fitness influencer does it intentionally or unintentionally, right? I can help you understand where they're coming from. And maybe it's just the point of view. Maybe they don't understand. Just doing this for 32 years. And, you know, I've been on the internet since the internet began in 1994 with my website, and always doing these type of things when it wasn't so easy just to put your high quality phone. I'm telling you, these phones are amazing, right? I mean, if you know my history, if you watch me, you can do a Google search. You can see that way back in 1998, 99, I was doing online journals and had my very expensive, big old digital cameras that weren't even clear shots and videos, and having some big old $3,000 camera. And man, these phones, like, they're just amazing. With their 5 cameras, angles, it's exciting. It gives me a way to get techie and to share, you know, this whole journey with you. But I'm curious. I want to help you decipher that information. It may not be as sinister as you may think, and more than the other fitness experts who they kind of say, "Oh, these fitness influence, blah 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 blah." Not me, of course, but them. They're adding to your confusion. All right, I want to use my 32 years and going through the journey and tell you, making it to almost 60 years old, still doing this, that might give you some understanding why the information is presented that way. Hello, Bernard on YouTube. So glad you are here, sir. Bruce, hello. Great to have you here, sir. Bruce and Bernard are on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel. All right, and let me know if you're watching me live in the replay version too. So J. Martin asks, so I have some questions. What are your thoughts on vegetarian vegan diet for bodybuilding? Well, I think that you get your calories, your protein, carbohydrates, and fats, and it's, you know, you're consistent. You're in the gym with overload. You know what you're doing there. All right, whether you get it from a vegetarian route or a semi, or it's just meat, you know, carnivore type, you get those nutrients. All right, you get your calories. You know how that all works. You have the overload. You can reach your goals. Now, there's a couple of things. Is it going to be easier if you just take a non-vegan protein powder, or just the easy, maybe less expensive, less volume protein sources? Protein builds muscle after you effectively overload the muscle and initiate that muscle and repair process, right? Really doesn't matter where you get those calories, protein, carbs, and fats. Now, the thing about the vegan vegetarian, it's about its health benefits, right? Longevity, right? And that's debatable, right? Everybody doesn't agree with the science of how much of a difference as far as your overall health over time being a vegan vegetarian, right? Got people on both sides. Whatever that difference is but that's more of your longevity. It has less to do with your ability to build muscle and lose body fat for bodybuilding, right? So there's two different, outcomes. One is building muscle, losing body fat, bodybuilding, and one is overall health, fitness, longevity, those type of things. And I think that where a vegan diet may be a little bit more challenging, getting that protein to build and repair muscle, it makes up for your overall health, right? But you don't have to be necessarily have the optimal health strategies to look optimally building muscle and losing body fat. Those two don't have to always work together. And again, not too extreme, like you can just eat totally unhealthy and that's good enough, right? But I hope that answers your question. Why it says it means one size fits all approach, and that's presented as gospel. Give me an example of what you mean. Because there are certain organizing principles that work. So if you gave me a specific example, like someone said, I don't know, like, for example, someone said, the best rep range to build muscle is 6 to 8 reps, and that is gospel. And another person might say, 12 to 15 is the best rep range to build muscle. That is gospel. Well, the truth of the matter, it's not really about the rep range. It would then be the fulcrum, the balance of the amount of weight. It's how much overload, how many more can you or can't do when you're done with 6, 7, or 8 versus 12, 13, 14, 15, right? Obviously, if you're strong and you're going for overload and the rep range you're shooting for is 12 to 15, you're going to use a lighter weight than if you use 6 to 8 reps. So is it the reps by themselves that create overload, or does that person have to know what overload is and pick the right weight that creates that overload in 6 to 8 or 12 to 15? So now I don't know how they're explaining it, but you may be perceiving it in a way is that this is the best way. A lot of times they're saying this is the way that I do it, and I do it for this way, and it works for me. Or they don't want to tell most people what I just tell me. Man, I have a video, right? How many sets, reps, exercise do you need to build muscle when you're older? And I talk the way I explain it, just the way I did it, right? You can't say this rep range. It's the person doing the rep range, and it's how much weight. That's what makes overload work. Right. So if the person doesn't understand overload, it doesn't matter if it's 6 to 8 or 12 to 15. It's not the reps. All right. And I took the time to explain. Some people think, oh my God, if you look at my TikTok channel about that, I cut out a 3-minute segment. And to some guys, oh my God, no one's ever explained this to me this way. There's some exact comments, right? If I were to, pull it up on TikTok. That's what they got out of 3 minutes, where nobody's explained that way. Other people, well, what's the answer? You didn't tell me how many reps, right? Because that's the way they think. So one person thinks my explanation is godlike, the best they've ever heard in the industry, right? And one thinks he's too ambiguous. He didn't explain it. He didn't even give an answer, right? So, sometimes it's not the information, it's your interpretation of it, or thinking your body, you're like a special snowflake, and well, it's good for him, but it's not good for me. It's going to be good for anybody if they understand all the nuance, right? And that's what's hard to communicate through videos, because you're going to hear what you want to hear. You're going to come to conclusions that it does work for you or not. I can tell you, your body isn't as individualized as you think. I'm not saying there's a cookie cutter, but I tell you, most guys I'm looking at them, they're 20 pounds overweight. They got 20 pounds too much fat. I'm telling you what, any training routine, if you knew how to work it, will not change your body enough. You don't even know if it's working. That 20% body fat, that 20 pounds extra fat, you have no idea how much muscle it will build. You have no idea the shape of the muscle. It's too much body fat. Now, you may look better than most, right? So if you think you're focusing on this training routine and, well, this is absolutely, it has nothing to do with training. It's that your body fat. Right. So a lot of times, if you haven't made it to the other side, you don't understand the nuance. And it's a challenge. Like I said, I spend a lot of time explaining a lot of ways that I've explained thousands of times. And I want to get better and better and better with the feedback that I get through my one-on-one coaching to explain it better and better. Years and years of doing that. But it doesn't hit home with everybody, right? That's why I love the one-on-one coaching. I can check for understanding. You know, I've had it where, you know, you could call in and we could do it here. You don't even have to pay for coaching. We can call it. I can go back and forth and other people can learn, right? And guys don't even take advantage of that. Or I get a guy, you know, the last call, if you remember it, because I've been doing this I've been on the internet. I don't know, what is that, 25 years, whatever, right? So people aren't, when you've been doing the same thing and talking about the same subject, people fit into categories. It's very predictable, right? Right? Just like the body, you know, there's only so many variables, right? And so anyway, I did a live call here on this show. I think it was just, I don't know, the night before last. And I can just tell by his voice, the way he said my name, because I've done this 5 billion times, right? That it was going to be a crank call. If you remember that, you watched it, I just turned it off, right? Well, when I logged off, he called back because I hung up on him, right? And then, so I was pretending, okay, skip from Cour, right? And so he said, yeah, you know, when you were all shiny back in the old pictures on stage, and, you know, this guy's posted like on live, like he's probably watching right now. He's got the old, is that baby oil, right? He doesn't want to know about baby oil, right? He thought he was going to do it, right? So I said, I know. So he said, you know, when you're, and I said, I know, you want to know if I use baby oil. And he goes, yeah. I go, no, I don't. And by the way, I'm not live anymore, right? He goes, oh, okay, right? You know, I'm always thinking of interesting stories besides sets and reps. Is that animated? Is that interesting? All right. Is squats, are squats a must building legs? No. Anything that creates overload, right? Hardcore guys, oh, you got to have squats, got to have squats, got to have squats. No, anything that overloads, a leg press, hack squat, something. There's so many awesome leg machines. There's awesome leg machines I see on the internet that I don't have access to, that kind of strap you in, that, you know, they emulate a squat, and it's safer in a machine. The machines are awesome. So no, you don't need to have squats. I don't care what that hardcore, young, passionate fitness expert says. All right. Jay Martin Skinner asks, are the fitness routines celebs do for superhero roles appropriate for a beginner? I want dramatic results, but I don't know where to start. Well, you know what? There isn't a routine for, you know, there isn't a really routine for a beginner, intermediate, and advanced. There's more volume or less volume. If you're not experienced, you don't know, even when I mentioned about overload, even if you really heard what I explained, you're not have enough confidence to test the boundaries of what overload really is and what you're really capable of. And most guys don't even lock into that process to get better in 3 months. I have men all the time who I coach, and they've been training for 15 years. I explain organizing principles of overload that they missed. They've been just checking off the box. So whether it's a superhero routine or whatever routine, they're only applying a certain amount of intensity. Now that seems like they're training hard. It seems like they have intensity, but they have no idea because they don't have the mental framework set up. They don't know the rules of intensity. They think they do, and they don't. So even if you had any routine, you're going to apply beginner, mindset to it. It's just exercises are exercises, sets and reps. It's not the numbers and the words on the workout routine. It's the amount of intensity, understanding, form, feeling, execution, consistency that you put on those words. So yeah, go ahead. You can do a celebrity routine. It's not too advanced because you probably you can't break past a barrier that you even know you're capable of. You'll water it down to your level of understanding, and it'll be fine. Bernard asked, I'm 65 and I find that I need more rest days for recovery. I enjoy PPL routine. I'm not sure what that is, but no, I cannot hit it every day. I don't know. Is that true? Is that true? If you lower the intensity, you can hit it every day and you would have more volume, less intensity, but you could do it every day. You can adjust that, all right? But probably as hard as you're training it. You know, if you train any routine hard enough, it could be a 4-day routine. That's you're in for 45 minutes. If you train hard enough, that's more than enough. So I ask question, why does there appear to be so much conflicting information and these fitness personnel are so convinced that their way is the only way? You know, I'm coming from a skeptical perspective, so it's possible. You think you're skeptical? Right? Most people are. They're skeptical in life. So they'll have someone like me, right? And they interpret me as, you know, look, I'm just the opposite. I can take anybody's routine and anybody's diet because I know what makes a training routine work. I know about intensity. I know if it's a longer routine or trains the body parts more frequently. If I chose to do that, I would still get the end results. I wouldn't be able to train with it. If it was shorter, I know how to apply the intensity to make it work. With the diet, there are only so many organizing principles to make any diet work. Carnivore, vegetarian, Whole30. I don't care what the diet is. There's basic organizing principles that makes it work that if you don't understand, I can sit here and tell you how it all works. I can tell you so you don't have to, I can say it in 3 minutes, tell you so you don't even need to ever get more confused or read a diet book, right? 4 things that make a diet work. You can't eat too much food. Well, duh, Skip, right? Yeah, but most people have no idea how many calories that they eat because they don't track them, because somebody convinced them, I don't track my calories. Some young kid who's just a burning machine, right? And he eats more and more, and he kind of just figures it out through trial and error because that's all he's thinking about. He's got all day to figure it out, all month, and he figures it out without doing it. He's willing to risk his willpower, focus, energy, and time being less efficient, and he figures it out. Most guys won't. Most guys don't want it that bad. And so they'll just stop. So if you want to do it more efficiently, you got to know if I said, what's a lot of calories? What's a little bit of calories? You would have no idea. You would guess, well, what about this? What about this? I heard this. Well, that seems like, but you have no idea. All right. So when I say you can't eat too much calories, you got to know what a little and a lot is and how the body works. And, you know, and so you can't eat too many calories, right? When you find the right amount, which isn't so easy, right? It can't be too little. That's number 3. When you find that right amount, the more consistent you are, and you're going to train harder. You're going to have better moods. You're going to be stronger. You're going to sleep better. Food is a drug. When you find that amount, which you got to know what's a little, what's a lot, how much you're even eating, and you're consistent, man, any training routine that you have, if you find that number and eat that number consistently, whether it's good food or bad food, right? If you hit that number for 3 months straight, you'll go, oh my God, I know how all this works. I hear why they say it's 80% nutrition, 20% training. I don't have to have a 10 out of 10 training routine. This nutrition, but no one will last 3 months of consistency. They'll say, well, does this work? What about this? Well, I don't think it's working. I think I blew my diet, because they don't understand it. But when you find that number, be consistent, hit it. All right. And if you're not losing as much body fat because you don't know how it works or the weight, it's all confusing. Those are things that will sabotage your motivation to be consistent with it. But when you find that number, just be consistent with it. Third one, you can't eat too little. But again, what's a little? What's a lot? If you don't know how many calories because you're convinced, well, I don't know how many calories. I don't count my calories. And if you think counting macros is different, counting macros is the same thing as counting calories. You just don't extend the arithmetic, but it's the same exact thing, right? So you can't eat too little food, but that means nothing because most people don't know how much they're eating. They don't even know what a little or a lot is. And if they do, they're just guessing, right? So you can't eat too much food, okay? When you find the number, be consistent and all your worries will be done. You'll see how the body works, but it may not happen as fast as you want because you don't know how it works. You don't know how it works with the weight. People confuse the weight and everything like that, right? So mentally, they can't be consistent because they're uncertain. Number 3, not eating too few calories. Most men, just tell you, most men, the amount, they're busy, productive, older, the amount that kind of gets them to, if they work hard, to 20% and nothing more, it seems like it's about 1,200 calories they think is the right amount. Calorie deficit, it got them this far. They have no idea that they're not maximizing. They don't know that they could eat twice as much food because they don't even know how much food they're eating. It just seems like the right amount. That they can burn off body fat, have more energy. They would have room to even eat some of those flavorful foods because they've conditioned their body to eat more food, right? But 1,200 calories seems to be the amount. But they don't even know that. So I can't help them. And well, let me tell you what, I don't need to know what you eat. You don't need to tell me that you eat blueberries with your oatmeal, because that's what you think is important, but that's not important. That's not the question. I asked you how many calories to eat. And because they're convinced of whatever they pick, they'll never know how many calories. So they don't know what a little and a lot is. They don't know what too much is, too little is, and they're not consistent with it, right? And the other thing is you got to know what to expect from your diet. If you think that you're going to eat in a sustainable manner and you're going to gain 10 pounds of fat in a month, it's too aggressive. It's not going to work that way. And if it does work that way, I can guarantee you're not going to be doing it 3 months from now, right? Because it's going to stop. You had too much weight loss to begin with. It's not going to match it. And just say, oh, the second week on your diet it doesn't work, that gave you 10 pounds less. The second month, it's only going to lose 5 pounds. And the next month, it's only going to be 2 pounds. You're not wired to understand that 17 pounds is a lot of weight. You just said it went from 10 and went to 5 and went to 2. It's not working anymore. I'm putting the same amount of effort. I'm eating the same diet. This isn't working. It's not going to ever work for long term because you don't understand how it works. Okay? Every diet, I don't care. The difference is they all have a scientific point to that. This makes better. Well, vegetarian because of whatever, meat and what it does and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Or ketosis kind of optimizes this, and this. Or intermittent fasting, the timing does this and this and this. There's a certain scientific element that it doesn't make a regular diet. That's a 0. And this little scientific thing like ketosis makes it a 10 or 0. One makes it a little bit of an edge. And even sometimes that's debatable what edge it is. And you hear everybody debating about the edge. Well, what if I said, yeah, that's true, but it only is 2% different than a regular bro bodybuilding diet or a flexible diet? Well, that's not how you're hearing it. All right. To do it right, it's not going to happen any way you think. You're not going to lose weight and fat. You might even gain weight when you do it, to have it sustainable that you have for the rest of your life. Really, if that made any sense, usually I got to talk to guys. I got to explain specifically what that means, because what I said, even though that's the blueprint that makes every diet work, you get even smart guys, they don't understand that concept. And then when the body, it happens, even though I said, this is the way you're going to feel. Like I just had Jose. Jose's probably watching. All right. We laugh because I told him, Jose looks amazingly better. I wish I could show that to you. He looks amazing in just a month, right? But it's only 5 pounds on the scale, but it's massively different because I told him how the weight was going to happen and was going to happen. He's eating 2,500 calories while he looks massively different. But it's only 5 pounds, but it looks massively different. All right. Well, one thing I said, be prepared. All right. Because people are going to come up to you and say, are you sick? Are you sick? Are you still working out? That's how it's going to look those first 5, 10 pounds. So you may get what you want on the scale. You might see a change, but people, the look, and that could discourage you. Oh, what? I'm a big guy. He thinks I'm sick. He thinks I don't even work out anymore. I tell them, they're going to say that. I tell guys exactly what's going to happen down the road. All these coaching calls are recorded because every mental trap, every physical change, I tell you what's going to happen. And it doesn't even matter if I tell them. When they go through it and they're doing all that work, they forgot I told them. Or I got to tell them again. And that's why the one-on-one coaching is so valuable. So you know what to do. You become certain, and you know to keep on keeping on, that you're on the right track. You just never been there. You don't know how it feels. And so you want to retreat and do something else or focus on something else, right? So, listen, It's very challenging, even if someone's been doing it for 32 years like I have, to explain this in the way you understand. Someone else might, right? So all the fitness experts, they seem to throw each other under the bus. The smart ones know there's more than one way to skin a cat. They got here and they made progress every way. Now they may be convinced, this 80-second training routine combination of diet, this is the best. So I'm going to just start from my experience right to the best, more effective. But they're not saying everything else that you do is worthless or whatever, and this is the only way you're not going to make any gains. That's how you interpret what they're saying. But if a guy's 35 years old, he's been doing it for 15 years, he knows there's many ways to do it. He didn't just get here doing it one way, right? He may think this is the best and he got the most gains, but he could have been doing it the other way and he improved. All right. So I hope that's helpful. So Wyatt says, to me, it was the best answer. It's amazing how much fitness is parallel with business. It's parallel with life. I teach this to my kids. I said, look, with everything you do, be prepared to have 9 different versions of failure. All right. Where I'm not saying it's a flat bust waste of time, but you're going to put in the effort. And it's saying, it kind of paid off, but it feels like a 5. I consider that failure, that you don't just try and win big. All right. I said, don't even start complaining until you tried 9 different ways and you failed 9 times. Hopefully you try 4 times and get the success that you want, but don't even start complaining, because the difference between those who are successful and not, some people are more talented, they have better genetics, whatever, but they keep on trying and they make the most out of what they do. So don't even start complaining until you tried 9 different ways and you failed. You try that 10th time, because the game clock doesn't even start in life until you failed 9 times. Most guys, even if they've been training for 15 years, whatever they learned, whatever kind of worked in year 1, they're still doing it 14 years later. They don't know that. They haven't tried 9 different diets. They haven't tried 9 different training routines. They haven't tried 9 different combinations. It feels like they have, but they haven't. The other thing is, if you don't put not a 10 out of 10 effort into those 9 tries, you got to put a 15 out of 10, because you don't really know how much effort it takes. When someone says, I watch my diet, and then they say, well, how many calories in it? Well, I don't know. You don't know what you're doing. You may think you know what you're doing, but that doesn't count. You got to go above and beyond how you think it works. You got to put a 15 out of 10 effort, 15 out of 10. And maybe you'll get there into those 9 that you fail at. So I tell them, don't even start complaining. Don't start crying. Don't start cursing the world. Don't start blaming yourself. Don't blame other people until you've tried 9 times. And every single time you say, I gave it a 15 out of 10. I'll tell you what, I don't care. Even everything I failed at or whatever, I can't say that I have. And that's the secret to success. Some things we're just wired. We want it that bad. Well, we'll walk through a wall of fire to do that. Most people aren't doing it with their fitness. And they would tell you, most people are not, they're not putting a 15 out of 10 effort, and they haven't tried 9 different ways to get that 10th time. And if they have, I can tell you what, if you really want it bad, you should get coaching. Because if you like what I'm saying, right, there's an opportunity right there. If you don't want to do it, if you'd rather struggle, if you're too cheap, if you don't think you can afford it, or you think you get it, well, that's your decisions. But it's not because it's impossible, right? But that's really the secret to anything in life, right? And a lot of the men who I help, it's their exact, wow, this is what I tell the kids who I mentor, the young men who come to me to mentor in business. I tell them the exact same thing, what you just described. That's very helpful, Skip. This is why when I decided to recommend to fitness, I subscribed to this channel. Awesome. Thank you so much. And I'm glad it is helpful. Wyatt, thanks for being here. Normass overload, doing 6 to 8 reps based on routine number 1 now. Definitely feeling it. Doing fewer warm-up sets, wasting time. Awesome. All right. And thank you so much. Norm invested in my $147 program, right? It's where I introduce you. Want a taste of all of this, all condensed with videos and a workout routine and video explanations of the workout routine, and then 12 modules, 11 hours explaining training, nutrition. All right. An hour and a half video. I already know the top 10 challenges you face and their solutions, right? It's going to be, oh, wow, that's me. Oh, wow, that's me. I'm already going to tell you what the journey and the roadblocks are. So there's a lot of digital information, but the best part about it, you get to talk to me for an hour so I can have this conversation. And like I said, oh, I've tried everything, Skip. You are trying everything. You're looking at your body. You're disgusted. You don't think it's going to change. You've been doing this forever. And you can't spend $147 on yourself to talk to me personally, to just give yourself a shot. You watch all these videos and are still not getting it. You're not alone if you're not getting it. All right. It's just one of those things. To get to that next level, there's nuance involved that it's got to be explained. And when I get on the phone with my coaching clients, a great leader, a great teacher takes responsibility for both sides of the conversation. I'm listening to you. I'm feeling you. Are you understanding me? Are you putting enough weight on what I said? So when you say, I don't count my calories, but let me tell you, I eat oatmeal and blueberries, I don't just let you keep on going there. If I got to say, I don't care about that, I ask you this question. Well, let me tell you, I don't care. I'm going to make you address it because you have to put more priority to even get down the right road. If you watch a video and you hear me say this, you're going to go, well, yeah, well, I know what I'm doing. If you're on the phone with me, I hear that, and I'm not going to let you go and continue your interpretation of how much of proprietary, how much weight you put in things. I'm not going to let you continue to put the weight in the wrong things and not enough weight in the right things. That's the power of one-on-one coaching, right? I mean, if you're even half serious, you should go to solutionswithskip.com, solutionswithskip.com. Get that package. Talk to me for an hour. Best investment that you can make. At least you know, like, why am I looking in the mirror fat? Is it because I'm old, disgusted looking the way? Why? You're not worth $147 just to say you left it all on the floor? Trust me, I will not let you down. Quit letting yourself down. It's the best investment you can make if you're even serious about this. If you're not serious about that, we'll look in the mirror and say, I'm not serious about this. I'm not putting in the effort. I'm not trying 9 different ways for a solution like that's a successful life. I'm not doing it. I'm quitting. I'm just doing the same things over again. And I'm not putting a 15 out of 10 effort. I won't even invest $147 to give myself a shot. So look at your fat body, think you're aging, think you're disadvantaged, thinking whatever, right? Thinking there's bad information on the internet, yeah, or you can go for results. All right. Very good value for $147. I recommend it. Well, thank you so much, Norm. Starting counting calories using MyFitnessPal. Awesome. Great recommendation. It's a must. It's a must for what I explained. Hey, this was a great Workouts for Older Men Live. If I don't say so myself, I hope you got value. What did we talk about today? We talk about how it may not be the fitness experts that are so incompetent. It's maybe be our interpretation, but it's hard to interpret, right? The fitness information. We talked about diets, what makes them work, what's important that makes them work, their organizing principles. We talked about if any weight training program and any diet will work if you know the organizing principles, because they all include that. Talked about my $147 program for those who are serious, right? Solutionswithskip.com. I'll post that in the link section below. We talked about squats, if those are important. We talked about celebrity training programs. All right. We talked about reps and sets and how they work together to create overload. All right. So let's see. Why does it seem like there's a lot of negativity health-wise for bodybuilding recently? At 65, I feel great by doing this type of training, and the vital signs show it. I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Are you talking about all the professional bodybuilders who seem to be dying in the lifestyle? Well, let me just tell you something, is that these guys, like, I'm 5'11", I'm about 215, and I, going to be 60 years old. That's a lot of muscle. That's a lot of weight, for the heart to be pumping. right? It seems like it's healthy. It may look good, right? And I'm, as a drug-free bodybuilder, no drugs, I'm on the lighter side. But you do all that overload, the heart really works. Going to need that heart part. These guys are like, I don't know, 5'7", 280 pounds. They carry all that huffing and puffing weight, even with the drugs, even without the drugs, whatever, right? That goes beyond lifting weights, eating good food. That's where wonder, there's only so many beats in your heart, right? There's only so many reps with weight before certain people's joints start giving out. There's chance for injury and those type of things. More isn't better all the time. So I think that's where bodybuilding gets a bad rap, right? Let's see here. All right, guys, so that's going to do it. Hey, look in the description of this video. If you want one-on-one coaching, I can direct this passion, energy, this information. I can tell you exactly what to do. Get you certain on the path ahead of you that it will work. All right, and I'll give you the expectation so you won't be winning and feel like you're losing. I'll line that all out for you too. So look in the description of this video and reach out. We'll see if one-on-one coaching is a good fit for you. All right, so that's going to do it for this Workouts for Older Men Live. Let's live today, every day with a sense of urgency. Let's train hard. Let's take care of that nutrition. Let's build that muscle, lose that body fat. Let's get healthy. All right, let's produce at the job with a sense of urgency. Let's love and connect with a sense of urgency. Hey, it's undeniable. When we're a little bit older, we got more time behind us than we do in front of us. We got to live with that sense of urgency. Have a great day.